What's going on, you guys? It is Mr. Game Squatch here. Today we have an unboxing after a very long hiatus, I should say. For anybody that's used to the channel, I like to try and post recent, or try to keep up to date or something like that. But unfortunately, with COVID and also the recent passing of my grandfather, unfortunately, I have been a little bit preoccupied. But nonetheless, my local Walmart that hardly has shit finally came through with something new. They had, Ash vs. Evil Dead, this Predator figure, a Halloween 2 figure, and Friday the 13th Part 3 figure that I already had, a couple of those. But this is the one we had to grab today, and this is the one we're going to be doing the unboxing of. Predator Jungle Hunter. By none other than Neca, the same company that I've been doing almost all my other unboxings of, except for the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series figures. But that's not today's thing. Today we are doing the freaking alien Predator Hunter, whatever you want to call them. And it looks so freaking badass just from these from these different shots here on the back here. And I am actually really excited to be able to see this in person and see this. And as you can probably read from the back, deep in Central American jungles, the Predator is hunting humans for sport. Armed with his plasma caster, wrist blades, and cloaking technology, the Predator methodically stalks and kills the opponents he deems worthy. The Jungle Hunter Predator collects the skulls and spines of his victims as trophies and skins his prey, leaving the bodies hanging from trees. When a Special Forces team is dispatched on a rescue mission, they soon become the Predator's prey. As anybody can remember from the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and other big-name actors, that was an amazing freaking movie, and I honestly love that movie, which is exactly why I wanted to get this figure in general. So, we've already looked around the entire box. Without further ado, let us dive on in to this and let's get going. Of course, because why would Neca make it easy to be able to take this out? I really like this actually, with the individual hairs. Instead of just being a solid shell, it's individual layered hair as the replacement head. With that sweet face.
deadline tomorrow.
Not now, Google. You already stalked most of my life. Alright, well, I gotta say, I am very impressed with this, actually. The amount of detail and everything. And as anybody's seen any of my other videos, I'm always impressed with the level of detail Neca puts into these things. I mean, it's just, it's insane. Seriously, the level of articulation just in the elbows alone. I mean, look at that. There's that. There's supposed to be a second joint. There we go. See, that one was a little bit tough. But it is possible to be able to fully collapse the arm like that. And I gotta say, like I said, I am just in love with this so much. Even with the loose chains and, you know, bones and stuff like that, is pretty sick. And as we can see, let's put him down for a second. As you probably saw, the replacement head is unmasked, and then he has just one mask, but it doesn't. I don't think it actually sticks to the other head. So if we take this and try to sit it on there, it doesn't quite sit on there because of the tentacles and stuff like that. It's more for like holding in his hand when he takes his mask off or something, you know what I mean? So I do, like I said, I love the tentacles for his hair, because instead of a solid shell, just a solid piece there, they made it loose hair, which is really neat. I actually really like that. And just a single piece of tape, barely even holding that in, is holding in all of his different weapons. Like, looks like we have the shoulder blaster with a movable, posable top piece here. Move that around and stuff like that, and I believe that's what this is for. This blue piece down here, that's the blast, and that's the backfire, and that sticks right on there and blasts. After, looks like it's supposed to just sit on his shoulder. Yep, I see a little, there's a little clip bit there and on here that looks like it sort of just clips on right there. I'm kind of just pacing this out as I go. I'm not actually fully sure with this right now. It looks like it's pretty much seated on there. Get that out of the way there. It looks like it sits there and then it clips on there, and that, well, it's supposed to, in theory. I think they didn't quite fully think this through. It kind of just sits on there. It's not very locked and secured, but for a good photo, even that, it's too heavy for it, you know what I mean? It's not as good as you would imagine. See, I think that right there probably seats it on there, but as you can see, the blast is just a little too heavy for that. So we're just gonna leave that off, put that right back down the correct way. So that's his shoulder blast, and then we'll put that right back down there. And it looks like they have two different posable hands as well, open palms, as we just yeet that the way. And then it looks like as well we have a skull with spine, full skull and spine, which is pretty metal, I should say. And another individual little skull, which I think is pretty neat as well. I'm actually glad they added those, because I mean, you can't have Predator without skulls, you know what I mean? So that's just me. That would be awesome to have. Now let's see how easy it is to be able to replace the heads, because Neca is pretty known for having some pretty hard to replace heads. So So that's his necklace there. Try and put that back down there. And the necklaces, because they're so lightweight and just plastic, they kind of are just easy enough to probably almost lose. So I definitely would not trust this with kids, that's for sure. It's always hard trying to put these things on, you know. Of course, that's also probably just me, but NECA is known for that. It's really hard. The one thing I found out though is if you ever do have a hard time trying to put plastic pieces onto your different figures and stuff like that, like action, like guns or hands or something like that, put it in warm water for a few minutes, maybe even 30 seconds or so, softens up the material, and then you can try and put it on and it actually helps it get on. Because I believe the one NECA figure, the Godzilla 54 figure that I have, it said that to do that for the tail, because the tail is, you know, a little bit hard to squeeze on there. Alright, well, that's the head on there, and it's pretty tight. It's not going nowhere. It is fully onto the neck now. So, but I do like how they blacked out the eyes. Didn't even really give them any pupils or anything. I do like that because it kind of gives it like a soulless effect, which is really cool because it's the Predator. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And after some tweaking with the hair, you can get it over his shoulder and all that, because this was just from the factory in a curved setting. So trying to get his hair over his shoulder and displayed and all. There we go. That works like that. This is pretty sick. I do like this. Now let's get him holding a spine. He does have individual fingers as well, I should add. I know it's hard to see, but he actually does have individually sculpted fingers instead of just making it all one solid piece like a lot of different figures and hands of figures. But that's the problem with this as well, is there we go. Okay. That right there is the shot right there. That's it. That's the shot. That's it right there. There you go. I think that looks freaking badass, and that's probably how he's gonna be sitting over my TV with the rest of my NECA figures that I have. And if you haven't already, check out those videos as well. I would really appreciate it if you dropped a like and maybe subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm gonna try and get back into doing more video game stuff, because obviously I'm called Mr. Game and Squatch, not Game and Watch Me Take Shit Out of a Box. You know what I mean? I know I keep saying that a lot, I'm sorry. But, oh, you know what? I just realized. The blades retract in and out as well. Look at that. Deployable, straight blades. That is awesome as hell. I was wondering, I'm like, these blades were longer than that, weren't they? Yes, they were. That is awesome. I love that. Alright, you guys, I think that's going to do it for today, and I'm definitely rating this solid 9.5 out of 10. And the only reason why I say 9.5 is just for how hard it is to be able to change the head out on this, and also just the fact that the removable mask doesn't really sit on the separate head. It's more of just a display piece for when you have his one hand open to hold the mask with this face. But other than that, I think this is amazing. I am definitely in love with the hair and how they have it, each individual strand is free and movable. So I gotta say, like I said, 9.5 out of 10. And if you manage to find yourself one of these and you're a nice, you collect this, I would definitely pick this up from your local Walmart or wherever they sell these things. $30 is what they usually go for, $29.66 or whatever change, yeah, definitely pick this up and check out some of my other videos if you haven't. I'm going to try and post more recently, and I love you guys. Stay safe. Alright, bye-bye.